Yep, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Inc. Daily. It is me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday to talk the wonderful, colorful world of professional wrestling. It's our good friend from Second City, Chicago, newly minted main stage cast member, EJ Cameron. EJ, welcome to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Hey, Nick, glad to be here, buddy. Ready to be tickled.
Yeah, dude, it's a tickle kind of Tuesday. It's a melancholy kind of tickle, though, because as we were talking before the show, you're going to be going into process for this big Second City main stage show. And so for that reason, we're not going to see you here for a little while on the Wrestling Inc. Daily as you go to work crafting the next great piece of comedy work from Second City, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to be tucked away inside a theater writing. Every day. So it's going to be fun. And I can't wait to invite you, man.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to come either. I'm going to have too much to drink and then talk about my job in the middle of your show. It's going to be wonderful, you know?
Exactly.
True story. But it was all in context. Nobody was upset. So
No, we had a blast. Everybody loved you.
Yeah, we had a fun time. We had a great time. So anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun here today with EJ, and it's not like he'll be gone forever. I mean, I would imagine you'll come back and do things with us from time to time.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. So for today, one last time for a while, EJ is going to talk all the news with me. We have no interview here today, so just pure EJ, Nick goodness here to talk what is going on in wrestling. We will dive to the mailbag at the end of the show for everybody. We're going to look at who you all want to see Edge wrestle at WrestleMania, which was like a big point of contention coming out of the show last night on Monday Night Raw. But of course, if you want to engage with the show, jump in the comments section, wherever you're at, like Jay Flame. Europe. Happy Tuesday. See, we're going to miss that. You know, that's gone for a while. Andrew Cormos, good afternoon, Wrestling Inc. Azel's here. We got MCast with the Tickle Tuesday. Ricky Zaldivar. Hello, Wrestling Inc. family. It's 22. I think I added too many twos, but it's the Glenn Lerner. He's a lawyer here, Chicagoland area. It's his gimmick. Tickle Europe Tuesdays, Michael Thunder, Thomas Banchitz, Wunderbar, Hype. I don't even know. I'm gonna guess this is okay. It's German. I shouldn't be scared of German, but whatever. Ricky Zaldivar, good lucky EJ in SNL. Yes, he's not quite there yet, but like the step below, you know. So anyway. And not that I didn't want to. I mean, I just don't know what it says, right? I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to take a swing.
I could be getting tricked into saying something terrible in German. It's what I was nervous about. So,
somebody translate that in the comments, please. Translate.
Yeah, that'd be one. Michael, maybe you can do it. I see an MCast here. He wants Issa for the replacement. She's popping in and out of the comment section from time to time. I wouldn't be against that. So, food for thought. All right, hey, let's get to it. Some news you can use. News that will leave a bruise. Let's talk Monday Night Raw last night. So, Paul Heyman, he came out at the start of the show with Brock Lesnar there. They had a back and forth. It was revealed that Brock Lesnar, he's going to defend his title, Madison Square Garden, March 5th, allegedly against Bobby Lashley. That is if he is healthy. PWInsider.com saying Lashley currently in Birmingham, Alabama, visiting the WWE doctors. He's getting his shoulder checked out by the doctors at the Andrew Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Oh, and then forget that. I don't know what that is. Center. So anyway, I get the strong implication we're going to see something else, not Lashley be the thing to fight Lesnar at this Madison Square Garden live event that it's not on Peacock. They've done that in the past with kind of these big shows on the network. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like because it's MSG, they have to have something big, and Lesnar Lashley feels like it should be. We're here holding out for whatever's going on with Lashley. I hope he's okay. Granted, they've been making him look real silly with Brock Lesnar. I feel like Lesnar is on his like Hogan run right now.
Oh,
he kind of pops in, beats all the black champions, and then leaves. I think it's crazy.
To be fair, there were less black champions for Hulk Hogan to beat, you know?
Because of Hulk Hogan.
All right, I see. It's like a tail. It's like a snake eating his tail. I got it. I see what you're saying. Okay, I get it.
But yeah, I don't know. They're given the option that it could be somebody else, and my only person in my head, I'm like Edge, but I don't know if his neck would want to go up against Lesnar.
I think it'd be okay. Edge Lesnar would be interesting. The big one, and this guy who got teased all night long, Cody Rhodes. What's going on with this guy? Yeah, so like the Miz announced Logan Paul as his WrestleMania tag partner versus the Mysterios, which was a swerve because the dashing line and everything he said leading into it, a fighter from a fighting family. You would think he was going to announce Cody. No Cody. It was Logan Paul. But Cody was teased there, and he got teased again in the Edge promo that we'll talk about in the mailbag we can talk a little bit about right now, where he's seeking a WrestleMania opponent. There's this aura of Cody Rhodes, right? Especially around Raw right now. What is his influence going to be? Is he the surprise opponent for Brock Lesnar? I don't know. That makes as much sense as anything else at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I couldn't really believe Cody beating Brock. I'd be like, oh, cool.
I don't think Cody. I don't know that he beat Brock. I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to bring him in and lose. It would just be like a big surprise. But again, like nobody knows what Cody's doing. Like, is the Cody Edge match? Does that make the most sense? And the thing right now, it just seems like it's just so open, right? The fact that they don't have much that I can like focus on. Like I know we got Brock and Roman, but they don't even want to do like a formal 6-week build. They want to do like another match and then like a 4 or 5 week build.
Yeah.
It's too much for me, man.
I
know where we're going right now.
I had the same thing. I was like, wait, there's going to be another championship match before. Like, this man, I feel old. I'm like, what happened when it was the Rumble and then Mania? The good old days.
Same vibes, though, man. Same vibes. I'm just like, man, because like we haven't got Cody yet. We didn't. Spoiler alert: didn't get Steve Austin last night on Raw. As time goes by, I know you want your road to WrestleMania to be filled with twists and turns and builds and stuff, but at some point you got to get the ball rolling on this stuff. Like, is it all going to start next week, the week after? If people stop believing it's going to happen, do they start to tune away? I feel like, Logan Paul was not enough for me last night. I needed something a little bit bigger, right?
No, that felt real flat. When Logan Paul came out, I was like, no, womp womp.
Stupid flat, very flat. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to build something. And what I used to like about the WrestleMania build was it always felt slow, and then you got invested and you won. It's a slow cooked meal. It's Thanksgiving dinner. Right. You don't want a fast food for Thanksgiving. You want something that was home cooked and made with love and care. Give me that. Sure.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. I want to see some more. I want to see more between these entities. Like I know Roman's over on SmackDown, but like if this is your WrestleMania main event. We got to start seeing these guys sharing some space here. Paul Heyman is fine, I guess, as a tease for this moment. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's a big main event. All the titles on the line. Certainly has marquee value. Maybe that's mostly what they're worried about. Maybe people like us and the wrestling fans that are, like, tuning in each week hoping for entertainment are less of a priority for them. But there does not seem to be a whole lot of bite to this or really any of the Mania matches to this point. The stuff people want, the like Cody surprise return and the Steve Austin match with Kevin Owens, we haven't gotten any tangible inclination that stuff's even going on at the moment.
Yeah, and it's feeling like it's not. Because we're having like Seth and Kevin on a tag team together now. Yeah. And I kind of like their vibe. They're kind of funny together. So, I don't know.
I agree, man. But then so KO is supposed to spin out of this tag team thing into a match with Steve Austin, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Seth Rollins is not a terrible opponent for Cody, in my opinion, at WrestleMania. Yeah. I don't know how you get there. I'm sure that these people could figure it out. But another weird kind of just like, I know what I want to be happening right now or what I think is going on, but the thing that I'm watching right now does not seem to really be applying to what I'm looking for at the moment. Very weird dichotomy.
Yeah, it's a weird build and I use the word build loosely because they're not building anybody else. So now it's like, so what are we going to do with all these people? Oh, we're going to stick them in a tag team and hope it all works out?
Yeah. It seems to be that way at the moment. So JT098 saying if Edge faces Cody and then Cody wins, then where does Cody go? The IC title, maybe the US title? Sure, I think Cody for the U.S. title is exactly what Cody wants.
Yeah,
that seems fine by him. But Edge versus Cody, kind of a coin toss. I mean, it's a big marquee match. Of all the ones he kind of listed, I think it would be fine. Again, I don't know really how you get there. But do you bring Cody in and do you have him win his first big match back returning? Or do you have him lose the first big one back to kind of send a message? I don't know if everybody remembers the John Cena-Brock Lesnar match when Brock had gone away and came back. Pretty sure they had Cena like beat Brock and everyone was like, what are you guys doing? Do you remember this?
Yes.
Right after Brock came back and they had that match and Cena like beat Brock and everyone was like, what are you doing?
He like jumped over the top rope and like hurt his stomach or something stupid. Yeah,
it was very weird. I wonder if we get, do we get a little bit of that, or do they want to send a message to the AEW roster and really do something with Cody right now? I don't know.
I feel like they gotta, if he does, I think he should win. And then when you're talking about it, I think it's an easy layup to actually how they get there. You have Edge calling somebody out, anybody out to make them famous at WrestleMania. It's like an open invitation. So Cody shows up, steps right in and was like, you know what? I've never had a big WrestleMania match.
See, and Andrew Cormos here saying, I was waiting for something last night. Nothing happened, right? That's exactly how I felt. The Miz moment, dude, it's just like they want you to like hate them, right? When they're like, oh man, is this gonna be Cody? No, it's Logan Paul. Oh, yeah. Edge is building this up right now. Somebody answering that challenge right there to kind of maybe we are too old school where it's like this doesn't seem like enough time to tell these stories, but we are nearly to March. Next Monday will be 2 days away from March.
Yeah.
6 weeks away from WrestleMania or less. And all these things we need to get going. And I'm not feeling momentum for really any of them.
Yeah, I think the only thing that has, of course, we're talking Roman, Brock, everybody's talking about it. We'll see on SmackDown. Is Belair and Becky Lynch. That's it. We're going to talk about the match later, but that felt good, like a good build up. The cuts to Becky, looking at her reaction, and just Bianca stomping around and being a hoss. I was like, oh, I want to see this match.
Of all the things right now that are grabbing me, man, the women are doing their damnedest to keep my attention. Over-delivered at the Elimination Chamber every single time. Every single match was great. I thought the same thing watching Monday Night Raw. And I was really happy about that PW Insider report that said that Bianca and Doudrop got big praise backstage after this bout because they really deserved it. That was a very, very, especially for a television match. And the visual of Bianca getting Doudrop up and hitting that KOD, that's going to be replayed for a long, long time. It was really well done.
I was thinking the same exact thing. My one thing, I wish it was on a pay-per-view. Just watching that, it was a pay-per-view quality match. I'm glad we got it. But, man, just watching her, like, walking her in the center of the ring for a power bomb was sick. It was a great match. And, Doudrop was doing her – I almost cursed – was doing her work too. Man.
Yeah. Great. It was really good. It was probably the highlight of Raw. Maybe not.
It was.
We're going to talk about Ciampa too, but Ciampa and Finn versus the Dirty Dogs also really enjoyed that. Maybe just because getting to watch Ciampa wrestle in front of like 10,000, 15,000 fan, wherever there last night, after being down in the dark warehouse that is NXT for so long. No offense to NXT. We all miss it. Real NXT. But like to see him really get that chance and look good and fit in that environment, man, I'm not used to it yet. I still like looking at it. It feels cool and different to me. I like it a lot.
It's good. And we got to soak it in and enjoy it. And it also brought out Finn Balor. It was an awesome moment. I was like, oh, dope. And Corey Graves called out. He was like, oh, we have 3 former NXT champions in the ring right now. And I was like, oh, snap, Bobby Roode.
Dude, Finn looked like for the first time in a while he was like actually having fun. Like he was getting some stuff in. Those guys were having a good time out there. And maybe because everybody was like, this is Ciampa's moment. We've all kind of like Ziggler, Roode, and Finn. They're all like, they are the old dirty dogs walking the proverbial yard of WWE right now. Ciampa's getting a chance to really play and have a moment. I think everybody showed up for him there, made him look great. And then, tomorrow or tonight on NXT, you're going to get Ziggler Ciampa. And I'm certainly more enticed to see that match after what we saw on Raw, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the match you want to see. They built up. I like the crossover build up. I like that they're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And the Observer saying it's not going to stop. Apparently, plans are going to be going forward for Raw talents from the and the NXT talents to continue doing crossover storylines. The strategy since the launch of NXT 2.0 has been to do more of these. Officials want to see at least one main roster talent involved with the NXT brand at all times, with a storyline that plays out across both shows, and the preference is for that main roster talent to come from Raw. And I mean, what's not to like? I mean, I like this, right? Yeah. It's good. It's great.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like its own separate universe.
Right. And I think the Raw preference is probably because they're both USA products, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Easier to take somebody from the Raw brand and give them the rub over on NXT. I don't know how that gets a little tricky when you start taking people from the Fox brand. But at the same time, I think, they may be accidentally stumbling onto something here. And I don't want to give anybody too much credit, but there has been a real issue trying to get Raw and SmackDown to feel different. And if Raw is the brand that is kind of at odds with NXT, well, that does kind of make it feel different than SmackDown in some ways. I don't know how hard you want to push it, but I do like that it starts to create a different dynamic for Raw than we have over at SmackDown at the moment.
Agreed. I mean, we could also just have an underground fighting ring.
Hey, what's not to like, right? Shane McMahon down there screaming, dancers for a couple weeks, and then they're gone for no reason. What happened to the dancers? Ask the questions, people. So Andrew Cormos here saying Ciampa get a spot on the Mania card. I don't know about that. I think honestly what this looks like is, tomorrow night or tonight we're going to get Ciampa Ziggler to set up Braun's next opponent. I would think since Ciampa got the win on Raw, which was a big moment for him, I think Ziggler might pick up the win tonight on NXT to set up Ziggler Braun.
Yeah.
Maybe that does spin out to Ciampa going to the main roster right now. If he can find himself in a Mania slot, more power to him. Hell, you know what? Ciampa Cody probably has a lot more to it than a lot of other feuds because those guys actually went back and forth on Monday nights or on Wednesday nights for quite some time. So I don't know if you could pivot that over outside of the NXT universe, but another Cody could literally work with anybody, and I'd love to see Ciampa get a spot, no doubt about it.
And there's also the Battle Royal. I mean, I would like him to get a spot, but the good old Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah, maybe Cesaro. Maybe that's Veer's big coming out. We finally get Veer at WrestleMania, and he wins the Andre Trophy.
This is a wild bit that they're doing. Now it's just like he's going to get the biggest pop when he shows up.
Can somebody give me a Veer week tracker in the comment section? Like how many weeks now this has been running? Because I need to start comparing that to how many weeks Glacier ran. Glacier ran for some obnoxious number
real
of
long.
Weeks. Real. It's like 30 plus weeks. I want to know if we're going for a new record here, I guess. And the thing about Veer too is even if they fired him tomorrow, this guy's going to clean up on the indies. He's got this kind of ironic cool.
Yeah.
The kids love it,
And he works a good style. The matches that I used to see with him in it, I liked him.
Okay.
He's a good big man.
Iron Med saying 6 months. Headlock Heel saying 5. If you guys want to track that and the number of weeks Glacier was promoted, if I can get the numbers next to each other here, I'd really enjoy that.
So bringing out the red string.
Yeah. Look at, need too money. I need 6 months worth of red string. So that's really about it for Raw for me. Is there anything else? We were really waxing fantastically about Belair and Doudrop. Kind of got a little lost on that, but yeah, that spot was beautiful. And just the fact that the women are just putting in the work right now, and there's a decent amount of very kind of compelling, complex characters, I think. Yeah, I'm more into what the women are kind of doing right now than a lot of the men's stuff over on.
Yeah, they're cranking up the heat.
Yeah,
they're cranking up the heat.
It's good. Ronda Rousey comes back, right? The women get more attention. It's funny how that works,
Huh. Yeah. Maybe they should do that all year. Yeah, I feel like Doudrop should get a championship run, man.
She will.
Yeah.
It's not her moment right now. it's interesting with her and Otis how Vince just made them like mean. He's like, you just need to be mean. It seems to be working kind of good for both of them at the moment. Alpha Academy is very enjoyable.
Oh, love them. Love them. Shoosh.
Shoosh.
I need a shirt.
So Fightful has some updates here on AJ Styles' new WWE contract. It looks to be multi-year. That was pretty well known. But the big kind of takeaway from their update is that AJ Styles looks to be making more than $3 million a year now for WWE. That's a lot of money.
That's for AJ. Lots of millions.
Yeah, it is.
Good for AJ.
Congratulations. Do you think he's going to be looked at like the Shawn Michaels of this generation? I wonder about that sometimes.
I think so. I think a lot of people already make the comparisons.
He's got some time to go, right? Like, I think that, we'll get to the poll here in a second. What a lot of people, I think, would like to see him do at Mania. But he's a couple real memorable WWE moments away from, being in that same conversation. I know he's about a decade older than Shawn was when he started up with the company. But, I mean, the guy, he works well with everybody. And and
he's well-traveled.
Yeah, well-traveled, taking people under his wing, getting people up to the next level, not being afraid to do business, great ambassador for the company. Yeah. Really, I don't know. Interested to see where AJ's legacy sits in WWE. He's done a lot more than I think a lot of people would have expected.
Yeah, no, he has. Grand Slam too, right? Like immediately.
Yeah, I think so. All right, and lastly here, a friend of AJ Styles from TNA, Drake Maverick, has confirmed on his LinkedIn that he has accepted a new role with WWE. He is a writer and producer. He's been doing this for a little over a month now. And Fightful saying, and no surprise here, Drake Maverick, very well liked by everyone. If you go back and watch his release video, the day he was released, where he was like giving himself a pep talk, I think that's the moment you're like, well, maybe this guy's not big enough for us to wrestle, but this guy's obviously very, very creative and understands wrestling. A great pickup here, putting him in that position.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Great mind, great brain. Those videos that was a great video, and it got him back in.
True. And you look at AJ, and we had Rude there, but Jeremy Borash down at NXT. Abyss is an agent backstage now.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that whole TNA kind of era, if you were able to keep your profile up, it would seem transitioned into a pretty decent job for you over at WWE in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it's not going to be the guys from the 70s and the territories anymore. This is as close as you get to like the territories and a bridge to the new style that's indie-ish.
Right.
And then like blend it with the WWE style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, EJ, I want to thank you for joining me at Top Show, talk all the news of the day. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Great conversation to be had. We are not done yet. We have the mailbag still to go. If you want to vote in our daily mailbag segment, you could go to @WinkDaily, WINC Daily. That's the account to follow. As a reminder, Wrestling Inc.'s Twitter account has been shut down because we didn't share Olympics footage, but they said we did. And until we get that resolved, we don't get to have a Twitter account anymore because YOLO. And as such, our current Twitter handle is @WrestlingInc.com. It is the same handle, but with the word com, C-O-M at the end. Go give that a follow, and that would also be great. So today's poll question over @WinkDaily: who do you most want to see Edge wrestle at WrestleMania? I have about 100 votes here. 70.7% said AJ Styles, 21.7 for Cody Rhodes, 3.3 for Damian Priest, and 4.3 for everyone else, which is really just Dino Garofalo writing in Finn, who was the other talent that was teased in that Edge promo. Are you surprised that AJ Styles blew this one away?
Absolutely not. That's the fire match that we would want. They're two vets that we've never seen before go against each other, and they have unfinished business. When Edge first returned, I feel like he was supposed to do something with AJ, but when he speared him, it like knocked AJ's shoulder loose.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
And then they went to the greatest match ever, and AJ did the stuff with Undertaker. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like AJ is the best fit there.
I agree wholeheartedly. And, we have MCAS Pierce saying AJ needs a few more memorable matches. A lot of other people here kind of chiming in. We were having the discussion about his AJ and that Shawn Michaels class saying, yeah, I want people to see more WWE moments. Tina Miller here saying AJ versus Edge would be awesome. And yeah, it would be great. These two guys are completely in their element right now. All of the light bulbs have gone off over their heads. I think the Cody Rhodes one is an interesting choice. But again, you can literally pair Cody with anybody right now, and it would just kind of make sense.
Yeah.
AJ Edge at WrestleMania, give him a half hour, would really be something. And that's the kind of thing. It's like you see AJ because, AJ, the Boneyard match was a great WrestleMania moment, right? Big WrestleMania match for him. I could see this one also kind of being up there. But I don't know, man, like there's a real aura around both of these guys right now. I'd just love to see them work together.
Exactly. That'll be a match that everybody who's in the back should be by the TV watching and taking notes.
Yeah. We also have here from Mark Smith. He wants to see Cody. We have Dino Garofalo here on the comment section saying in another universe, Edge versus Shinsuke would have been great. I'm wondering what's going on with Shinsuke. They give him the Intercontinental title. He doesn't defend it. He does finally defend it. He loses it. I don't know, man. Just seems like a drift in the wind over there.
It seems like they don't know what they want to do with him.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? So, anyway. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to end it here today for the Wrestling Inc. Daily. EJ, I thank you so much for the many Tuesdays you have given us. Again, I'm sure we're not losing EJ forever. More of a we'll see you later than a goodbye. But, yeah, dude, you've been wonderful to have on the show. Obviously, you're a lot of, as we're wrapping here, a lot of people probably don't know EJ and I worked at a elementary middle school for a time as that's actually where we met on a literal playground, but not as children, as adults, breaking up fights, getting in trouble.
While talking pro wrestling.
Talking a lot of pro wrestling. I'm more of like, I only lasted like 4 months there, 6 months, maybe a little longer. It's because I got like bad Santa vibes as soon as I got in there. I called a kid a jerk because he was bullying.
Oh, yeah.
They had to do a sit down with me and the mom. And they're like, oh, we heard you called my kid a jerk. And I'm like, yeah, your kid's a jerk. Your kid's bullying a little girl, made her cry. Maybe you should like think about that. And then they sit there and they're like, oh, what are we doing? God. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Those days are behind us now.
Oh, man, it's been a fun ride, and we're still riding.
Yeah. So here we are. EJ, before I give you your thing to put all your stuff over, I'll just let everybody know Wrestling Inc. Daily. We're on iTunes, all the podcast platforms. Go support us. SupportWrestlingInc.com, all the socials, and of course, come back here tonight after NXT for the latest Wrestling Inc. podcast. All right, EJ, where do you want to send people to support you, find you, shoot you DMs, stay in touch? I'll see you next summer at camp, kind of
KIS, or was it Keep in Touch, KIT?
Yes.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at EJ_Cam19. Thanks, y'all, for listening, having me here. It's been fun just getting to know everybody and talking to folks and interacting, especially while we were in quarantine and locked inside. The one thing going was pro wrestling, so this was definitely really good for me, and I hope it was good for you too, baby.
It was. There's a 20 on the nightstand, EJ. I'm telling you, buy yourself a nice breakfast.
Not a 20.
I'm at Nick_Hausman over on Twitter. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss